All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night training. Jesse McPherson coming at you live here from the Philippines. And we had a beautiful song this morning. So it's time for Africa. And part of the reason why is I got a special guest on for you guys here today. So that was a little foreshadowing, just so you guys know. But in any event, I want to get into a few things here that we have that are really important for us as we're coming into the back half of February here, as we are now halfway through the month. I hope you guys had a great holiday celebration and Valentine's Day, or Single Awareness Day, as somebody told me one time it was called. But as we get into the closing out this month, a few things that we know are super, super important. First of all, if you haven't gotten onto our site, elitesynergysystem.com, we've got great stuff on there for you as far as resources, training, calendar, PowerPoints, replays, videos, quick coaching, sections on Club Viago, and many more things. Actually, literally on a weekly basis, there's something new that is being added to this site as we are continuing to perfect this system and give you guys more resources here to build your business, to make it even easier or simpler, I should say, to go out there and build your organization. But the most important training program that we have here inside of this is our Inner Circle, Viago Inner Circle. So if you haven't downloaded this and you aren't listening to it, listen, this is one of those things while you're driving in your car, while you're working out, while, your hands are busy, your mind is free. If you're working, doing the dishes, you're cooking dinner, you can have this on in the background. I can tell you that the content in here with over 100 hours of content and training from our conventions to, I personally kind of like the Inner Circle kind of conversations, those kind of podcast conversations. I think I get the most out of those as well. And we're going to be getting some more for you. Also, our daily presentations. We've got all the details on the site. We have them done by different groups, different leaders, literally on a daily basis. So there's a place for you to plug somebody into a live presentation, but don't diminish taking away from the personal presentation that you need for yourself. So make sure you get those personal presentations in as well as those group presentations. Now, can't wait. We are 2 weeks away from Dubai. I cannot wait. This is going to be an incredible event. I know many people are coming to Playbook Dubai. We've got people coming from Asia, people coming from India, people coming from, which is in Asia, but coming from Africa, and of course coming from Europe. And we've got some US people that are making their way in here and experiencing the escape program of this, as well as the convention, which is going to be amazing. Now, the regional event, these are coming up here. Now, for those of you that are not coming to me in Dubai, then this, for those in North America, is your event. We are 17 days away from our regional event. The advanced tickets are $49, at the door $69. So you want to make sure and get this. If you have not registered, we've got, I think, 11 locations, if I'm not mistaken, from all over on our website, where you can see the locations, the details, all that, wherever you are, we got to get your booty in a seat, but more importantly, get more of your ambassadors and more guests to these events. This is going to literally be a kind of a catapult as we launch into our convention. And so we've got Akron and Canton, Ohio, with Michelle Taylor and Sean and Jenny Byam. I think Sean is going to be a guest trainer on next week's Tuesday night training, I believe, if not mistaken. So make sure and you get those tickets. We got Ben Bradshaw and Roy Woods down there in Atlanta, also followed by a special Friday presentation for your guests. So an opportunity to get your guests in. We've got going over to Bloomington, Jeff Bolf and Jen Obert. That's going to be over in that market. We've got Muzaffar Nashvi and Dana James in Chicago, leading the charts with registrations right now. So seeing who's going to have the most people. We've got KP in Concord and Charlotte, so Mr. KP Phipps, and we've got Angie Cuff and Dominic Curry over there in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. And over in Maryland on Friday night is a special presentation night as well. Roscoe Taylor and Pamela Pacheco over in Newark, which is going to be awesome. Oklahoma City, Wichita, we got Josh Valentin, and we have Jen Newkirk. And Phoenix, we've got Patrick Newkirk and the one and only Shar. So let's see. We've got in San Antonio. Sorry, I thought that was the last one. Carrie Schneider and Raymond and Janie Braun over there at Follow and a Friday night presentation. Most of the markets will have a guest presentation, so you want to get with the leadership and get in. There's usually a group chat or whether there is a local market or Facebook group that is connected to these. But right now, registrations, if you have not registered for the RTE, our regional training event, get your registration today and make sure you get everybody there. Oh, one more. Tampa, sorry. Juanita Phipps and Melanie Levitz over there crushing out in Florida. So as we have more and more details around this is all leading into our Amplify convention, which is May 2nd through the 4th in Atlanta. If you haven't got your tickets for this already, you can get those as well on viagoevents.com. And it is time to book your hotel. This is going to go live at some point tomorrow, right? So you want to stay tuned for all things Amplify on our website. It's going to be time to book your hotel. That's right. Registration is opened up for our room block for the hotel, which we got incredible room rates. And when you're booking through our block, you're not going to be paying the resort fee, which is a huge discount off of this location as well. So we'll get you the details on that. We're going to make sure you guys understand about the inner circle parties, the breakout sessions, the leadership, the live presentations. We're going to be doing a lot of things at this event, and we want to make sure you're prepared. But for now, RTE. We're focused right now on RTE because we're only a couple of weeks away from our RTE coming up. Now, we have a promotion this month for February where we've got our double cycles. Instead of $50, $100 cycles. And instead of 5 points left, 5 points right, it's only 4 left, 4 right for a cycle, which is crazy. Which, if you're talking about our launch pack, that's 2 packs left, 2 packs right. Boom, $100. Man, pretty good stuff. Now, on top of that, all right, we have a competition for those that acquire the most points through the month. This is something we've been doing since our pre-launch, and we've been able to continue to extend, which has been amazing. And for those that are in this pre-launch or been winning through this, there's up to $9,000 for the first prize for going out there and getting a triple play, so to speak, by getting over 20, 30 points and doubling or tripling those cash prizes, which is pretty darn cool. Now, okay. If you take a look at that from the top 10, what this basically has been able to do is it's going to allow people to go out there and earn tickets for the event. They're getting into the top 10, which you'll notice, 5, 6 will probably put you in that top 10 right now. But there's somebody on there. Last week, we had a chance to interview Lindsay, who is #1 currently this month and had knocked out #1, I think, from a couple months ago and just kicking some butt there. So, but we also have somebody that is riding on those coattails right there. But if I look at from his launch, which he actually joined the business on November 11th. I want to make sure I got these numbers right here. So, joined on November 11th. And what's super exciting about this, okay, is this individual is absolutely crushing it. In fact, he's putting a country on the map. He's putting a continent on the map here for Viago. So as he's been doing this, which has been absolutely incredible. And we want to get a chance. I got a lot of positive feedback last time about the interview that we did last week with Lindsay, who she did an incredible job. And so I figured, you know what, why don't we keep this momentum going to find out, because how many of you guys would like to win the competition, or more importantly, get your name on the board, but go out there and sponsor a lot more people. So it's like learning from the people who are doing it and getting these little tips. And I just love digging in and asking a lot of questions, as you guys know. So, but since November 11th and started, he was #2 in the month of November, with starting on the 11th, and he had over 20 points. That's over 20 signups in the month of November, and doubling his cash prize, which is pretty darn good. And December didn't let off the gas, ended up in 3rd place on the board in the month of December, which is pretty darn incredible. And then in January, which I am not going to officially announce anything right now because we're waiting for our president, Eddie Head, to make the announcement. But when the last report was out, he was #1 on the board for January as well. So he is until confirmed, I cannot confirm or deny at this point, but was #1 when it came to that. And then this month, he's #2 on the board this month. So if you look at that, 2010, we're talking since November, and we're here February. So we're talking November, December, and January. We're talking about 3 months. This individual has sponsored well over 60 people personally into the business, which is an incredible feat, is burning in some incredible cash. And because of that, but he's not only getting that, he's got promotions in his organization. He's got bronzes, he's got new silvers, he's got new golds that are inside of his organization, inside of this 90 days. And last month, in the month of January, not only did he wrap up an incredible promotion, but he also qualified to be our newest Sapphire ambassador for the company in really his third full month in the business, not even third full month in the business, which is absolutely incredible. So we want to hear from him because he's not only doing this, but he's doing this in an emerging market, which is taking over Africa. That is right. The majority of his business and signups are in Africa. He's coming to us all the way from Uganda. It is 5 a.m. in the morning, and I asked him if he'd be willing to get up and have a conversation with us, and he said, absolutely. He said, whatever I can do for the Viago family. So, Martin, are you here, brother? Where are you at? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
100%, brother. I am right here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I got you. Look at that. What's going on? So, all right. How are you? I cannot wait to have this beautiful conversation with you. And I love your green shirt. In any event, welcome to the Zoom. Tell us a little bit. So, who are you and what the heck are you doing?
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. First of all, it's an honor and privilege to be invited to be on this call with you and the Viago family. I'm so in love with the Viago family already, and I mean, I'm so excited. Like, I'm really and truly excited. So my name is Ndiho Martin. I'm a statistician by profession, and I also hold an executive master's degree in business administration. And in fact, as of yesterday, 18th of February, I clocked 10 years in this industry, in this network marketing industry. So 10 solid years, and there's no other industry that I would rather be in than this one, like truly speaking, because I've had some incredible stuff happening to my life, and lots of things, lots of lives that I've been able to impact, and this is where I would rather be, brother.
That's amazing. So tell me, I just love asking questions because it's one of my things. And I love learning and kind of diving into things. So your trade before, so you've had some experience in the network marketing profession, and this is important for us to point out because I said it last week on the call. Sometimes people compare your chapter 1 to maybe Martin's chapter 20. And that's not fair to him for Viago or for you, honestly. But although we say don't compare ourselves, there are some comparisons I think we can make when it goes to what is he doing, what are the actions he's taking, but also, look at where did this all really start. You kind of before we kind of go back in time to the kind of the beginning of this, Martin, is obviously so November you come in and you just kind of all guns blazing, right? So and you're obviously doing presentations. What are you doing? Are you doing Zooms? Are you meeting up in coffee shops? Like how are you introducing people to Viago?
Okay, so first of all, I got started in this industry. I got to see this industry through a complete stranger from Kenya. It's a gentleman that reached out to me on Facebook and was showing me about this industry I never knew existed. So I get to see these and I'm thinking, okay, what could this be? So, but anyhow, it so happened that it was in the travel space. And I figured, okay, maybe I could love traveling. Well, I had been traveling, but just, for business, for work. And I had never really traveled with my family. Yeah. So I get to see this and I'm thinking, okay, so you mean I can travel? And then he showed me the business part. And I'm like, wow, so I can actually make money while traveling. I was, blown away by, getting to see an industry that I didn't know even existed. So I got started then. I was fired up then and just ran with it. And, eventually COVID came in and kind of, everything went downhill, down south. And it's been a crazy 4 years in trying to figure out what else I can do and try it out here there, but then Viago showed up, and to me I was like, this is a second chance at life. I'm like, wow, this is it. So I grabbed Viago with both hands and I said, I'm dying with you. I'm literally dying with you. So I started on the November 11th, and well, if you ask me what I'm telling people, so I go like, hey, travel is back. Are you passionate about travel by any chance? Everyone seems to be passionate about travel. So I'm like, hey, we just launched our company. Are you ready to come run with us? And boom, I just show them a video. In the beginning, obviously, I was showing the video because I was also trying to get used to it because I was really excited. So what I was using was literally ignorance on fire. I didn't even know there was a contest going on. And then I would see Jared sending me a chat saying, hey, you're on this list. I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, what list is that? What is that for? How does my name come up there? I'm like, what? You mean I can go to number one? I said, fine, that's okay. Then I went on. I was looking at the price up there and I'm thinking, okay, so you mean I can go up there? I started calling, increasing my list, my list, my list, my list, and I'm calling everyone. And by the way, don't get me wrong, I'm getting lots of rejections, but I'm having fun with a lot of rejections, you know? So I keep calling people and I'm telling people, hey, hey, this and this and this. And this is exactly what I've been doing. And I make sure it happens anyway. So I call up like 10 people. Then I call you and I say, hey, I'm about to put in 5 people in the system. Do you want to lock your position so they fall under you and you get to benefit off them? And I call like 10 people. So whoever decides, I make sure when I tell you 5 people, I know I already have the 5 people. So I'm getting you in. And then those 5 people, I drop them down. And I'm like, yeah, boom, you even got more. Others get more. And, you know, it's pretty much like under promising and over delivering because my list is so huge and I haven't even started. It's only that as you go along and you get so many people directly sponsored, you kind of slow down because you have now to support these people.
Right.
So, and again, my results are not typical, but if you can also slow down and support your people and then go ahead and now it's only me fighting for my free time to have to call other people. Otherwise, now my team is my priority. Like I have to support every single person to also be able to duplicate. So that is why I'm kind of slowing down. But otherwise, if I didn't have to do that, goodness, I would be scoring 30 points every single month. And I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started. So this month of February, I'm truly fired up. And this month of February, I'm doing 30 points. If you're planning on 30 points, please let's go. Let's run.
I love it. I love it. I think Lindsay, if you're watching this on the replay, I think that's a shout out to you. So let me ask you a few questions about this, Martin, because I'm very, very curious, obviously. So when you are sending out those new messages, obviously to get in your first month, to get over 20 points, right? In your first month and over 20 signups, obviously you contacted more than 20 people. I'm assuming, so if you had to guess, how many reach outs or how many invites or do you think you did over the course of that first month, if you had to guess?
You know, first I made a list of about 100 people, but you
Okay.
know, even having a list of 100 people, but the people that I call are even way more than that because every single time I remember someone, I call them, even when they're not on my list. I just call them and you know ask them about the same question. Are you still passionate about travel? Are you still passionate about travel? Then I drop them a video. So I have there's this video that was done by Matt Morris. It's like a 13-minute video. So that's the video I drop. So in the beginning, I used to ask people, so are you ready to lock arms with me? And then I wasn't getting any responses. And I'm thinking, there must be something wrong. So I decided to go back and watch the video myself. Then I realized how Matt closes the video. He closes it with an A, B, or C. And then I'm like, okay, so these people are not watching the video up until the end. So I changed my question and I made it permanent. And that's what I trained my team. At the end of the video, when you send it out, ask someone, are you an A, B, or C? Don't ask any other question. That gets them. When you ask them, are you an A, B, or C? They're like, what's that? Okay, let me go back, watch the video. I'm like, gotcha. You didn't watch the video. You didn't watch the video. So then I send videos and then I also go ahead and meet people one-on-one. So this is what I do. I'm like, hey, are you home by any chance? Yes, please drop me a pin. I'm coming over. Drop me a pin, I'm coming over. Drop me a pin, I'm coming over. Drop me a pin. And if I sit with you and I'm sharing this with you, there's nowhere else you're going but in my back office.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh man. All right. So, couple things. Are you an A, B, or C? Why? Because at the end of it, it says, are you an A, B, or C? And if they didn't watch it, they're gonna not know what it is. So that's a great way. Drop a pin, I'm coming over, right? So you're coming to meet them and sitting down and getting them in the system and getting them signed up. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go. Let's kind of go back in time. We might go back and forth here a little bit from present, past, and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, want to talk a little bit about what you see for the future of Africa. But so you said you were introduced to network marketing 10 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so and you have a family. It says I know you mentioned you have kids. So
Yeah.
so how many kids do you have, Martin?
So I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids, yes. And yeah, I have a family.
Yeah. And how old are your kids, Martin?
There's 13, 11, and 8.
13, 11, and 8. So
Yeah.
basically, you got started in network marketing when you had one kid or like just and a second kid. So you had a young family, sounds like.
Yeah, very, very young family, yes.
Very
There
young
were
family.
2 kids then I got another one during the network marketing journey. The
Yeah.
last one, the third one, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
and your profession before network marketing was what again? I'm sorry.
I'm a statistician, statistics. But I
Statistics. All right.
was, yeah, but I was running 2 businesses, 2 companies, conventional businesses, and that was when I got to find network marketing, and then 6 months into it, I think if I recall properly, 6 months because I joined in February 18th, and by November, actually, yeah, by November, 10 months later, I closed all my companies and went all in.
Wow. So within 10 months. All right. So let's go back to that kind of beginning. So you are working at these jobs. You've got a young family and you live in Uganda, right? So,
Yes, yes.
all right. So, and just, I know a little bit about this. I had the fortunate privilege of getting a chance to visit Uganda one time. But what's the average salary of somebody in Uganda out of curiosity?
Um, $200, $250. That's the
Wow.
average salary.
$250 a month.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right. All right.
mhm.
So anyway, this is kind of a leading question, but for all of the listeners, for those in the United States who are complaining, saying somebody doesn't have $450 to join, Martin is personally signed up over 60 people. So, all right, and recently, and a lot more, and his team is crushing it in a country where the average income is more than it costs to get started. So, to get
Yeah.
started costs more than the average income. So, anyway, when I sometimes and I understand when people go to the market and find some people. Now, I do realize that you have a kind of at this point 10 years later a Rolodex of people and or a list of people that are probably passionate or interested and you have trust with, which I understand. But I want to go to that beginning. So you get a Facebook message from a stranger from Kenya. That's how it happened.
Oh, yes. That's how it happened.
You have no idea, doesn't know you at all, just random.
No, just friends on Facebook, and how we connected, I have no idea today, but somehow we were Facebook friends, and so he
Amazing.
started off by sending me all those messages. He's Kenyan, I'm Ugandan, and I never really paid attention in the beginning. And he happened to come to my country. He was here for about 2 weeks, constantly inviting me for meetings. I never showed up for any. And it was on one morning when he called me. I was in my office and I'm like, this guy is bothering me. Like, I literally told him, okay, come to my office in 30 minutes. If you don't show up in 30 minutes, please never call me again.
Okay,
Dude
wait.
showed up in 15 minutes and I was humbled. I said, okay, fine, let me listen to what he has to say. And all he did was play a video. And I was watching the video and I'm seeing happy people traveling the world. And I'm thinking, wow, I think I need to be there as well. I need to be there. And I remember telling him, okay, I think I love this thing. I don't know what it is, but I think I love this thing. And then I just got started. And remember, he had met like 60 plus people in my country in 2 weeks, and he hadn't gotten anyone started. And I was the first Ugandan that got started in that company. And boom, I hit the ground running, only to get rejections here and there for a whole month. First of all, my best friends, like 7 of them that I invited first, they all laughed at me. They're like, dude, you're crazy. You just wasted $500. And then I went to my family. They all said no. I'm like, my goodness, did I make a mistake? Is is it am I the one that is on the wrong side of things, or what exactly is this? But I couldn't unsee what I had seen, and I was wondering why everybody else wasn't seeing what I was seeing. And wow, a month later, it is on. Actually, 2 weeks later, I stopped doing anything, and I just kept watching and continued doing my own things. And then a month later, what reminded me was that declined payment, obviously, with our cards here in Africa. So when it got
Right.
declined, I received an email and said, what? You mean I have to pay this and I haven't even done anything? Either way, I went ahead and did my authorship, and I started talking to people with whom I just had an acquaintance. And I started signing up people. The moment people started signing up, and I'm seeing some money coming through, and I'm saying, okay, so wait, let me first withdraw this money, see if it's real. If it's real, then there is no one who is stopping me. And indeed, the moment I saw the money come through, I said, what? No freaking way. I started doing it, and wow. I remember there was a top leader coming through, going to Nairobi, though, not even Uganda. And I had been, at the time, I had followed him for quite a while, read his books here and there. So he was coming to Nairobi, and I said, I have to go to Nairobi and see if this guy is real and if they say he's in this company as well. So I went there. I was even scared to get closer to him, but he had kind of noticed that there is someone from this country that is not even open that is trying to do something. And they had told him about it. My friend Helen Kipinja had told him about me. And then he looked at me and said, you're Martin, right? Wow, that meant the world for me. And I took a picture with him and I said, I'm going with this thing. Then we moved. Then there was an event in South Africa, went to South Africa, saw thousands of people. And I said, all these people can't be wrong. So
Well,
let's go.
oh my God, let's go. So I got a lot to unpack here, guys. So as you guys know, so oh man, all right. So I want to go to the beginning of this because I think this stuff fascinates me, right? And part of the reason why is we hear the stories a lot of the times, but for me, the drama is in the details, and sometimes we don't really relate. Because Martin, I can be honest, is your story and what you've been able to accomplish was probably being even hard for me to relate to because I'd have been like, I don't know if I can do what Martin did, you know? So,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But here's what I always love. I always love hearing the story of how a person, an ace like Martin, showed up in the business because anybody could do what your sponsor did, like now. And so your Facebook friends, you don't even know how you're Facebook friends, but he's messaging you. Let me ask you a question. How many times, so when he messaged you the first time about, hey, I got this thing or whatever opportunity, I don't know what he said, but so were you responding to him or did he just keep messaging you even though you had not responded?
You know that those random messages you find in your inbox, and you kind of also respond with hi, like
Yeah.
no details really. They're
Right.
sending lots of stuff. You're like, thanks. You're not even saying anything. You're not even checking out what they are sending you, but they start sending pictures of like a holiday, like something, and you're looking at this like, what is this guy talking about? Like you don't really pay attention. You just
Right.
kind of ignore. That's
Right.
exactly what I was doing. But I
And so
kept him going. I would read and at least drop something, either thanks or hi. That's it.
that's it. So, and
Yeah.
how long before he ended up visiting Uganda did that happen?
Yeah. It was a month later.
About a month
Uh, it
later.
was a month later. Then he showed up in Uganda. And for 2 weeks, he was always sending me. Well, it's not like there's anything special about me, by the way, nothing at all. Only that I came to realize later that he had a huge list of people that he was sending these messages to, not just me. All
Of
right.
course. Of course.
So he was sending to so many people. And for some reason, I think for me, I would respond somehow. Somehow I would respond. So he kept
You're nice.
thinking there was hope.
Yeah. I love it.
So he kept thinking there was hope. I think I led him on actually. Later
You
knowing I was
did.
actually I
How
was
dare you?
helping myself.
You were
Because I was praying for something. And
Right.
you know, so many times, I mean, what I've learned is God will never send you an SMS or a WhatsApp message and tell you that right there is what you're looking for. But he'll give you the wisdom to be able to tell when it shows up.
No. Oh, that's
And
good.
that's when it showed up, and boom, like, did it change my life? Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
So he's in Uganda now. Right? So for those of you guys, so he's over in Uganda. He's from Kenya. He's in Uganda. He's just doing meetings. He's not signing up anybody for a couple weeks. He's messaging you that I'm in your country multiple times. And finally you're like, just look, come to my office within 30 minutes. And then basically that way you can get him to leave you alone. It sounds like.
Thank you. That was it.
That's crazy. Okay, so he shows up and he plays the video for you. And through the video, you saw, because it wasn't about him, right? It had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with his success.
And to me, I think when he got, you see, I was rude telling him to come within 30 minutes, because if he didn't come in 30 minutes, I told him never to call me again. So I was literally like mad because he had been bugging me and it was irritating already. So the dude shows up like in 15 and I'm like, okay. So, well, he's sad. I saw him. He was a humble guy. And then he starts to play the video. And when he was playing the video, I decided to focus on the message and not the messenger. And I think that's why I got it. So I focused on the message, not the messenger. And I remember seeing people in there saying, yeah, you should come and be with us. You should. I'm like, wow, I need to be there, because I was used to dealing with stressed people. I was always stressed. And I'm seeing happy people. I'm like, damn, I want to be with those people. And I said, you know what? This is it. I want in. And then he told me, okay, so he's like, are you sure? He was even shocked as well, by the way. He was shocked. He's like, are you sure? So you know that you actually have to pay this much? I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Well, I didn't even have money that very moment, but I had to get it. I called up my brother and I said, hey, I need $500 right now. I've seen something. I just want to get it. And he said, okay, come for it. He hadn't even banked it. He's like, okay, come for it. He said, boom. I went with this guy, went to my brother's office, picked that money, went to the banking hall. I didn't even have a card, remember? So we went to the bank and I registered for a prepaid card, loaded the money, signed up right there in the banking hall. And the rest, like they say, is history.
Wow. Okay, man, I love these stories. This is great stuff. Okay, so anyway, if you are enjoying this, go ahead and drop some hearts into that chat box and let us know, because I think these are great stories, but because they're real stories, right? So so let me continue on with that. So you end up signing up, you don't have the money, you call your friend, your brother.
My brother.
You call your
brother.
I called
my brother because said, hey. I had just given him some money that I was paying him back, obviously. And I knew that very morning he had not even taken it to the bank. He still had it with him. So I called him and said, hey, the money that I've just given you, can I have $500 back? I need to do something right now that is super, super urgent. I didn't tell him what it was. I think had I told him what it was, he wouldn't have given it to me. So I said, I need to do something super urgent. And that's how I picked it, went with this guy in the banking hall. I applied for the prepaid card, loaded the card, and boom, signed up right there. And then just in case I receive any other call and I have to use the money for something else, right there in the banking hall, I signed up. And then I said, okay, now what? What do we do?
What do we do? So
Yeah.
now what? Okay, so you sign up, then you said you called your first group of people that you called, nobody was
Yes.
interested. They told you were crazy. So
Yeah. So I
did you show them the
I went
video?
with this guy back to my office.
Yeah, yeah.
No. I went back with this guy to my office. Obviously, I was his first sign up. So he kind of now started getting closer. And we kind of started getting to know each other better.
Right.
So, and then he asked me, so can we invite your friends? I said, yeah, fine. I have my friends that I was with at the university. We all just started working. So I called 7 of them. We used to hang out like pretty much every other day. So I called them to my office. They showed up. 7 of them sat in my boardroom. And then this guy went to do his thing. He was presenting out there, and I'm out there excited, thinking all these guys are coming with me and we're going to kill this thing. Then when he was done, somehow he had other appointments to go for. So I stayed with my friends, only to look at them and I'm like, so what do we do? I didn't even know how to sign up anyone anyway. But then I asked them, what do we do? So, and they're all looking at me like, man, you don't know, you've just been scammed. Like, how can you even pay for something like this? I'm like, what
Wow.
do you mean? What do you mean? And then I'm all there trying to say, man, I saw happy people. I saw people traveling. See, if you guys can come with me, man, we will go travel the world and, have fun. They were all looking at me and like their jaws were dropping. And I'm thinking, okay, what am I saying? What am I saying? And in my mind, I'm thinking, how come these guys have not seen what I've seen?
Mm.
But anyhow, well, they all went back to their places of work, and I stayed right there thinking, but still excited. And then a couple of days later, we had a family gathering, and I had to go there, and I had a video this time around. And then I told them, hey guys, I have something that I need to share with you, something that I got to be a part of. Please watch this video. Boom. They played the video. It was like 14 minutes, I think, at the time. They watched the video and they kept looking at me. And I'm like, so you didn't see anything? Guys are like, not like they just looked at it. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. That was all. And I'm like, no one is coming out to even say they want to get started. I'm like, of course I think I did a crappy presentation, really and truly. And but anyhow, no one joined in my family, and this was an extended family actually. And then I remember thinking to myself, yo, this is going to be hard. This is going to be tough. My family, my friends are all saying no. So that was now after the first 2 weeks, I didn't do anything. The last 2 weeks of when I got on the 18th of March, the following month, and the monthly fees had to get off my card. Remember, the card that I got, I only put the money that was enough for a sign up. I didn't add any more money. So it had
Right.
to be declined. So I received an email of a decline. And I'm like, okay, now I have to pay 99. Wow. And I haven't even done anything. Meanwhile, this guy had already gone back to Nairobi. Okay. So, and then I'm thinking, so what do I do? Anyhow, I started calling people. But then I went on Facebook and looked for people anyone that had those signs that they used to have. I would send a friend request. Then I started befriending people from the US, from wherever. And then I'm like, no, man, this thing is global. There are so many people doing this thing. It's not only him, it's not only me. I'm like, I started connecting with all those people. And then I would chat with them. Some of them would respond, others would ignore. And then others, I would tell them the country, and then they'll tell me, no, sorry, we are not open there. I'm like, so you mean I'm now even an outcast? It was crazy. But anyhow, I just enjoyed every bit. I was having fun. And, with all the rejection, I had some fears. Oh, man, I had some fears. I'm like, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm wrong and these guys are right? But then deep down, I'm like, so what if I'm right and they're actually wrong? But anyhow, I went on. But then I was seeing the money coming through. I'm like, let me withdraw this money quickly, and I use it. Then I use it, and it's money. It's real. Like really? So I was totally confused until I went to Kenya and met Matt, and it was game over. I came back home and I'm like, guys, this is real. And people would look at me. I didn't know how else to explain it to them that it was real. But anyhow, oh man, I just kept on until I went for the first ever event in South Africa. That was around July, August, the same year, 2015. Wow. Then I saw thousands. And at that time, I even walked the stage, my first time ever to stand in front of 5,000 people. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
I love it. So you went
Yeah.
to, I want you guys to kind of picture this. So he gets started. So he gets started, does his first presentation, no one signs up. Then he goes to his family, nobody signs up, right? So, and then, but eventually you got somebody to sign up, obviously, right? So, somebody said yes. But then you went to a local or a regional event, sort of. I mean, technically. So, and how far is it to go to Kenya? Because you went over to see to kind of like a regional training event, it sounds like, right? Which was in
Yeah.
Kenya.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
how that, and obviously you can't really drive that. Well, you can, but I mean, you fly?
Yeah, it's actually very close. By bus, it's about 40. It's about 18 hours by bus.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah, about 18 hours. Yeah. So, and the flight is about 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's a short flight. It's a really long drive. I remember because I was looking at it and thinking because when I visited both.
yeah.
So all right, so you fly over there to go to this regional event and you see a training, and all of a sudden it's like light bulb turns on. This is for real, for real. And then you go
Mhm.
from a regional training event a couple months later to fly to South Africa to
South
go to
Africa.
a convention, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's a short drive, right? From Uganda to South Africa, right?
No way. No way. That's like a week's drive. Well, it's about 5 hours flight. It's about 5 hours flying down there, South Africa. 4 hours, 5 hours. Yeah. Mm.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
So you're flying down to South Africa and you go to your first convention, and then kind of like, okay, the rest is history a little bit, and you kind of go after this thing like crazy. But so I want you guys to kind of follow this. Like, I know we hear this all the time. It's like, the names, the locations change, but the story remains the same. And the more you hear these interviews, the more that you hear these, these leaderships of how somebody was introduced or what happened when they got started and how the rejection they went through and family not joining them and going to their first event and then going to their first convention. Like these are so when we say how important the regional training event is coming up, that's coming in a couple of weeks, we're not joking. Like, like I think about it, like, Martin, what if you never went to go to Kenya to go,
Oh,
to that regional event? Would you be here today? Who knows? Probably not, though.
so,
Um, so because so when you look at it and go, all right, how do I get more people? Because it just takes, it's like you're one recruit, or you're one Martin away from an explosion in your business, which is really exciting. So for us to be always thinking about here, and we get it. All right, now, so you're building your business. You're all of a sudden you're traveling. You said after about 10 months is when you went full time in your business, it sounds like. Is that right?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So 10
Hmm.
months. So now you're full time, you're building your business from home. So you're excited, you're a network. Is your team mostly in Africa, or did it expand outside of Africa?
Well, at the time, I only had a team in my country, in Uganda only. I didn't
Okay.
have any other elsewhere. So, of course, that was the first 10 months. And again, something crazy as well happened. So, while we were at it, and of course, considering the average income here, 99 a month became kind of a problem to lots of people, and other shiny things started coming through. And I remember I was closing in on another rank then, and something else came in, and I almost clocked about 400 people in my team. And
Wow.
then I lost in November 2015, I lost my entire team, and I stayed with only 3 people. By January 2016, I had only 3 people in my team from 390 plus people. and they all went. And in fact, they wanted to take me with them. But because the only thing that I think helped me was because I had been at an event in South Africa and I had seen, and the problem is I went alone, all right, at that event. So, and I remember thinking to myself, I should have come with like 10 people or two,
Mm,
or or more people to that event so that they get to see, because it's not anything, you can explain it to someone but you can't understand it for them.
mm,
So I couldn't explain how the event was, in as much as I had pictures, I had videos, I had everything, but it's not the same like someone being there in person. So, and I
right.
understood why they had to leave and all that, but then I went back to the drawing board and I remembered starting afresh. Remember, I'd closed my companies. I was now depending on my wife's salary at the time, which was about $300. In January, February, March, it was tough. It was really, really, really tough. And so many times I was thinking, okay, so what do I go back? I'm like, no way, I have to make this happen. And then I kept talking to people, meeting people every single day, meeting people. I get a sign up today. I know I have fuel for next week. I get to sign up today. I know I have fuel for next week. And I kept on and on and on. And boom, March 2016, that's when I got some superstars who went ahead to get to the top rank in the company as well. So we started off again now with brand new people that had never seen network marketing. Now, the previous group obviously was, so they were all into network marketing and had done this, that. So then I started with brand new people in the industry and plug them into the training. They got to go for trainings. Now, training became something that I would never fail to promote and always made sure I put them in, take them to training, put them in, take them to training. And that is how I was able to build a massive business of 50,000 plus people in multiple countries by the time, by 2020, around that. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy, it's crazy. All right, so you're I kind of want to, because I know we don't have too much more time left here today, so I want to I kind of ask you a little bit more about now, because now that
Yeah.
we kind of have a little bit of the history and understanding it, and not a lot of people would survive some of those things, where it's like I build a team of 400, and then now you're looking at three, and you're like, what,
Yeah.
like crazy. And but I look at your, and it's funny because you say a negative, but you smile as if it's good, and I find it so hilarious. You're like, I only had three people, and I'm like, why is he
Oh,
smiling?
yeah.
He says this, and it's like, the joy of the journey. I hear that in your voice, Martin, and it's beautiful. It's infectious. I love being around you. I love your spirit, your enthusiasm, and I know it's one of the keys to your success is you want to be a joy in the world for people, and that comes across. So when you're taking, let's take Viago, okay? So, for the people that are here, maybe I could be a brand new person, and maybe I just joined and I talked to my family and they told me I was crazy, kind of like you 10 years ago, before the 50,000 people, before the traveling around the world, before the walking the stages, before, knowing what because today your conviction about Viago is so high because you know what it can do for people, and the people that are behind it,
Yeah.
so and
Yeah.
how committed they are to the success of the program. But if you were to go kind of back in time and 10 years ago, and knowing what you know today, and have a conversation with Martin from 10 years ago when he first got started, what advice would you have for him?
Well, going back 10 years ago, I think, first of all, I didn't have enough experience. I was always, I also feared rejection back then. I feared rejection, and with zero experience, but all the time, all these years that have passed, I'm a completely different person. But if I went back in the day 10 years ago, I would advise that Martin to stay the course, enjoy the journey, and not to be phased out by rejection, and just keep on going and just have fun, because a no does not necessarily mean a no, but most likely those people just want to see if you are truly consistent with what you're doing. And there's no one that watches you more like someone who has rejected you or said no to you on anything. They'll keep watching you and watching you and watching you. So go ahead, do it twice and take pictures. And they will come to you and tell you, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Because right now I'm enjoying the noise, because I know for a fact this baby boy, I'm looking at him every single day. I'm looking at this baby boy every single day I wake up. When you say no to me, I touch him and I'm like, this is 85 grand. Like, are you kidding me? I'm talking to thousands of people and we're just getting started.
I love it. I love it. So, all right. Now, if I was looking at it today, now, obviously here, people hear this all the time, right? So I don't have the money, right? And I'm sure that's something that in Uganda is a common,
Yeah.
objection, right? So,
Mhm.
how do you overcome that, or what do you say to that, to somebody, or is it you just kind of move on and find somebody who does, or tell me about that, how you're overcoming that objection in your country?
So there are a number of objections really, but specifically that one of I don't have the money, that is also very common. But obviously, if you tell me you don't have the money, I go like, I mean, that's the more reason you need to have a look at this, because if you didn't have money 6 months ago, you don't have money today. Are you sure about having money 6 months later? What if we do something to change that situation? And this could be an opportunity that could help you do that. You lock arms with me. If you're coachable and teachable, I'll teach you how you can change that narrative. Are you
Hmm.
ready to run with me?
Hmm.
Mhm.
And if they say, now for the person that has the money, but they're just scared to spend it, I can get
Yeah.
that level of confidence. Let's say somebody just doesn't have it. So what is the
Mhm.
strategy for them? Like, do you help them try to find it, create it, get it, borrow it?
Yeah.
Like, what's the,
Yeah, so I mean, there's no other way around it, because if you don't have the money at all, and I have showed this to you, you as an adult, you will figure things out. Like everything is figure outable. Like this is you're looking for $279, okay? And this is something that could literally change your life. So people always find a way for the and the funny thing is for me, every single, well, this is in my opinion, because lots of people who come across and say they don't have the money, it's funny how they'll find the money when it has come and they need to pay $3,000. They'll find it. They'll find it. So for me, I don't even, I mean, objection overruled. I don't even listen to that, because it's not like I come off as I don't listen to that, but I know for a fact that if you, because you're looking at a $279 decision that could give you an opportunity to have a goal at $85,000 a month. Now, if you cannot get that 279 to kickstart your business, work closely with me, run through the numbers with me,
Hmm.
then I guess it's not for you. Because if you want to change your life, you need to find a way so that we get to work together. We support you. And I mean, there's a training system in place. There's everything that you need to use. There are presentations on a daily basis. You don't even have to present. Just get people, drop them on a Zoom presentation, let them see. Then when they are done with the presentation, you don't even have to answer their questions. You can make a three-way call with anyone to answer the questions on your behalf. And then you're telling me you cannot find the 279 at all to change your business, to change your life. And I'm no way, like really, I will show you a way. I will tell you straight up. I'm like, come on, this is a $279 decision. Like if you, and again, there are people that come to me and I present to them, they tell me the same thing. 3 months later, I see them or I call them, and then I'm like, I'll tell you one thing. In the last 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, you have spent that same money and on things that you can't even remember right now. Prove me wrong. They always think through and like, actually, yeah. They go make contributions for weddings, they contribute for this, they do this, they purchase things that they don't need, but tell them about the business. They don't want to, they tell you they don't have the money, and then they keep complaining. I'm like, come on, no way. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. If you find this, find a way to multiply that money. Don't look at it as a way of you spending it right now, but just have that delayed gratification kind of situation. Drop it here, get a position, let's run. Talk to your first 3 people, make all your money back. Like, how many, if your smartphone is not making you money, it is not smart, because you have people in the phone, you have lots of numbers, over 100, over 500, and you can't even call anyone to do business with. And then those that come, I can't get my 6 people. Come on, you can get 6 pallbearers. You suddenly can't get 6 people to do business with. Dang you, let's go, man.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, Martin, I hope you guys are sensing this and feeling this. A lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like his enthusiasm and his passion for people. But you'll notice that his commitment when he's talking, as he's talking to me and talking to you guys, I want you guys to see this. If you were on the other side of this, it doesn't feel aggressive. It feels, I mean, to me, it feels because I can feel his care that he wants my life to be better. So that pressure that he's putting on me isn't, it's not pushy. It's serious. It's a commitment of again, like, look, it's powerful. So Martin, I've got a couple of questions for you as we wrap up here. So as I've traveled the world, this is one of my favorite things that I've seen. I've been fortunate to be able to do business, in lots of countries. But Africa was a new one for me. It's a new market that I'm just learning and getting to know a little bit more. And thankfully, with your leadership and your help and your wisdom, I know we'll be able to do that so much faster. But whether I travel to the Philippines, I travel, where I live now, anywhere in the world. I always hear this when, is a kind of a common thing. Well, people here, I hear that. It was like, well, you don't understand. People here in the Philippines, whatever, don't like MLM, or, people here don't, are different, or people here, like there's always this like, this feeling, where it's like people are different here than there, which is why it's more difficult here than it is over there, right? So now, obviously, I love this because knowing that there's no excuses when it comes to building, but do you see building network marketing or building Viago in Uganda or in Africa easier or harder than the rest of the world?
Well, to me, of course, yes. Every single person talks about. Most people really talk about, how people here can't do this, or this is hard. This is travel. Ugandans don't. I had that. People saying Ugandans don't travel, but hey, I had never seen the airport empty. And I'm like, so who are those? Then it dawned on me that if you hang around 5 people that don't travel, you'll be the 6th. So if you can't change your friends, then change your friends. So the issue of this doesn't work here, this doesn't work here, I think it's a self-limiting belief, because I truly believe everyone does network marketing on a daily basis. And guess what? They do it for free. If you've ever referred anyone to a restaurant, if you've referred people to salons, if you've referred people to movies, to anything, that is network marketing, because they went ahead and shared with the others as well. Now, what if you got financially incentivized because of that? Like literally, that is network marketing, word of mouth. You're telling people about a certain restaurant. They don't even know you. They won't even give you a free meal, but you are referring people to that restaurant. And then you suddenly see something where you refer someone, they come and get a membership, you get paid, you get to travel together. And then you suddenly say, no, these things don't work here. You are doing it every day for free. You might as well plug into a system and do it, like really. So to me, that is objection overruled.
It's funny. I love it. Objection overruled. Gavel down on the court. I just love it. So no, you cannot have that
Yeah.
objection. No.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So Martin, something you said, this was like, oh, people here don't like to travel. Somebody said as excuses, or people don't have the money to travel, yet the airport's always full. That literally, I tell you a story. It just happened to me. So I was flying to another country to meet with a potential leader, and this potential leader was in network marketing for a while, but was in the product space, selling products, and was very successful in selling products. And obviously, we were presenting them the idea of a membership and of travel, which was a different concept, right? And he was very open and looking, but wrapping the head around people will buy a product, but traveling, it's too expensive. And it's, just he couldn't quite understand the value of the membership. Now, the funny part of this, was he was driving me to the airport because I was leaving to fly home. And we were having this conversation about products versus membership or travel in the airport. And he was trying to convince me that people in his country don't travel a lot. And I'm like, I'm like smiling because I'm like, bro, like, look, what do you mean? Like, anyway, so when you said that, it just reminded me of that moment that it just happened to
Yeah.
me. That it's still look,
Uh,
and also let you guys know I get rejected too. People tell me
yeah.
no. People every day somebody's telling me no. But let's wrap with this, Martin.
Yeah.
Is obviously the first 90 days have been pretty incredible, and I know that you're just getting warmed up, and I know this is you're on a mission, and I can feel that on you. So tell me about the mission that Martin has here for Uganda, for your team, for Africa. What do you see this year 2025 being for you? What are your goals? Anything you wanted to say to your team? Because I know you have you're already developing a team very fast. But tell me what's Martin's mission? What's his plan? Obviously, Black Diamond is obviously a goal, but I know your mission in your life is bigger than just than being Black Diamond. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so at least I really and truly want to bring back joy to people's lives, because and again, I'm looking at it from a point of we just got a blessing in our hands, something that came in, and we didn't really expect anything like this, because this is way bigger than anything we've ever had, truly
Mm.
speaking. For anyone that has worked with me in
Yeah.
the previous companies, obviously this beats every other opportunity hands down. And I just want to be able to share this with every single person out there, for them to get to see that this could be a second chance at life. And having been in the travel space for a while, and getting to see Viago come through with a better product offering, and obviously the opportunity side of things, because everything that I've seen in the last 3 months, I just keep getting humbled and thinking to myself, everyone should see this. In fact, there are people that I do call, and when I tell them about this and how I want to meet them, and they just give me a straight no, I'm like, please, I am begging you. I love you too much for you to miss out on this. And I tell them, this is going to be the biggest thing I ever built in my life. So I would love for you to meet me for just 30 minutes, only 30 minutes. And if you say no to me, that will keep my conscience clear, because I will know I shared everything I needed with you, and you don't have to blame me much later, because I know where I'm going with this. And so my goal, first of all, I don't know if this is being over ambitious, but in the next 5 years, I would love to have 100 black diamonds in my team. 100 black diamonds in the next 5 years. So, and I'm looking at it like, yo, with those, I mean, I can only imagine how many more people's lives will be changed, getting to create memories, around the world, and people taking their children to places where the history happened, and getting to get back together and have that, you know, um, the relationships and the community. And because I've personally missed that for the last 4 years, to be honest with you. And that is what I want to bring back here and get people to understand that, well, to me, looking at it from the point of my first love was travel, and now travel comes back, and it's so enhanced and way better than it was before. And I'm thinking to myself, no one should miss this. If I managed to go through what I went through with what wasn't even where Viago is, what can happen? What can happen if we don't fail? What can happen? So I am literally fired up. Like, I make sure I give my team a priority. The first 20 days of the month, by the way, I'm giving it to my team. And then the last 10 days of the month, that is when I start working on my personals. And even then, it's not like I forget about the team. I still get, like, during day, if no one is coming to bring anyone or anything, that's when I call that my free time. That's when I get onto my list and I'm calling. But when someone else shows up, I put my list down and I get to that person and I tell them, hey, look here. This is the hardest it will ever be. I tell my team, this is the hardest it will ever be. If we can go through this hard time where systems are like this and that, delays here, delays there, but the moment we go through this storm, and if we work as hard as we ever have after 2025, because I look at 2025, I'm like, this is the hardest year. This is going to be the hardest year by working so hard. But boy, are we having fun? Yes. Are we getting the money? Crazy income. Like, damn. So, and while we are at it, I'm just looking at 2026 and I can't even fathom where we'll be in 2026. So I try to get everyone locked in and tell them, guys, if you do not do anything right now, whatever you're doing today, you're sowing your seeds, and everything you don't do, just remember, 6 months from today, it will be looking at you like, where were you? Where were you when every single person was doing this? Where were you? Why didn't you put in the work? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that extra? So at least with this, we are very, so we are getting there. I won't say we are perfect, but we are getting there, and we are, we are pushing to get lots of people get to know about this and not to miss out. But like I said earlier, we can explain this, but we cannot understand it for everyone. Regardless, we move, some will, some won't. So what? Somebody else out there is waiting, and we are running. And to me, some people call me and ask me, hey, what is this in the back office? I don't know. I haven't even gone through the back office. I'm literally using ignorance on fire, because I know it's way, way better than knowledge on ice. Because every time you want to sit down and study the back office, lots of things keep changing. The other day, I saw something of Get6 pop up. I'm like, hey, we didn't have this. So I'm like, things are going to change. Don't sit down and study everything right now. If you want to study the back office, try to study it in November or December this year. Otherwise, things are still being enhanced. How long will you be learning that? The only thing you need to do are the basics. Make your list, call people, learn how to sign up someone, create your link, then learn how to sign up someone, learn how to do these basics. Every other thing. Someone asked me, what does the 0.5 mean? I don't know. I don't even know where it comes from, but I will know where it is coming from. Someone out there will probably focus on the back office, but let's focus on the activity because it's a foot race right now and we need to get Africa moving. So, and we are looking at the entire continent of Africa and literally taking it to a whole new level. And that is what we are focused on because we need so many lives in Africa to change. And that is exactly what we are focused on. So, yeah.
Mic drop. That's it. So yeah. So focus on the back office in November. That's probably the best advice I've heard on a training call. So, and he's right, guys. So, there's no people back there to sign up. So go sign people up. I promise you, guys, if you're noticing, things are constantly improving. We're making adjustments and tweaking things. So I always tell people for 90 days, don't even look at it. There's not even a point. And part of the reason why we haven't filmed some of the tutorials is because I want to film a tutorial when we know that the pieces and everything are finalized. But the get six, I mean, that's an easy one. Well, what do I look at? Well, do you have six? No? Go show somebody. I mean, there's not like you don't really, it's not rocket science. Now, well, we've been here an hour, brother. Thank you for waking up at 5 a.m. for us and being this fired up. I don't even know if do you sleep? Do you even sleep? I don't even know.
There will be enough time to sleep when I don't know. God calls me.
In November, yeah. In November, when you're studying the back office, you can take a nap. Yeah. So, yeah, right. But I will. When is your next event, brother? Where are you going to be?
I'm going to Dubai in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, thereabouts. Yeah, I'll be in Dubai for sure.
No, I can't wait to see you, brother. So
same here, bro.
Be prepared for where your training. We're gonna need you to do a training in Dubai for sure. So.
Oh wow. Okay, sure, no problem. Yeah. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
All right,
thank
guys.
you so much for having me. Really
beautiful Tuesday night. Let's go make it. So you have 10 days to finish out the month of February here. So what are we focusing on? Very simple. Get your six as number one. Then what? Help your people get six. So that way you get to bronze, you get to silver, get to gold, and you're moving up through the ranks here. So that's the focus here for the month of February. And then the only other thing that Martin talked about here, it's really important, is regional training event. Get to your regional training event, right? Even if you got to go on a short 18-hour bus ride, or you got to hop on a plane, whatever it takes to get there, because the events are truly life-changing. So action, training, action. I don't think we could have had a better person talking about this. So congratulations, Martin. Thank you for leading the charge. Thank you for putting on Africa on the map here, along with so many other leaders that are in the market for Africa. So I don't want to go without being said. There's a few that have really held down the fort. I want to give some love to as well. My buddy Henry down there in South Africa, who has been kicking literally just supporting the market for these last couple of years to get us to this point. So thank you, brother. So in any event, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this market. But for those of you that live stateside, I'm just going to finish with this. Part of the reason why I wanted Martin to come on here and to share his story, his enthusiasm, and his passion is because I think sometimes when you live in a market and you haven't been outside of your own little bubble, it's easy to kind of take things, some excuses from a market and not realize like, wow, those are just excuses. And I can push through them and also find other people. But the way that you can show up to that and go, look, so there are people out there that are wanting to change their life, and we are looking for those people. So if somebody doesn't have the money or can't find the money, it's not that they rejected you, it's you're rejecting them. I don't want to have if a person can't, be resourceful enough for something that's going to change their life, or come up with a few $100s, or be creative enough, or have a garage sale, or sell something, or borrow it, or be, if that is too much to ask of somebody, then is that really the person that I'm trying to build a business with? And the answer is probably no, as we know. Now, it's not that we're counting people out. Okay, so, but what we want to do is we want to find the people who are looking for us. Martin, who didn't even know he was looking for us, through a stranger from Facebook, ended up seeing the video and said, I want to be where those people are, and saw himself in the people in the video. And then through that sparked something incredible. So, guys, you just never know. And fortune truly is in the follow up. I want you to think about that, right? So, there was so many valuable lessons in today's conversation. So maybe we will turn this into a series of interviewing. If you guys want to see more of these, go ahead and let me know. And I got a lot of requests to get this into the inner circle. So I think we'll definitely look at getting these into the inner circle and getting more of these conversations. So, because I don't know about you, but these get me fired up every time. So, Martin, congratulations, brother. Can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks, celebrating and heading on that dinner cruise in the marina in Dubai. So God bless, guys. Have a great talk to you soon. Bye.